with the recent round of price hikes from T-Mobile and Verizon, I want to make a quick video to help people understand what's going on and what they can do about it, because most of this information is not really out there. It's something I've been watching from a distance for the last 10 years. Been operating in the industry, but just not directly with the big three. I've been watching what they're doing, and I can see what's coming, and it's not good for consumers. So the good news is there's something you can do about it, and I'm going to make a series of videos breaking down all of the different offers and promotions that these carriers are advertising, and I'm going to be using AI to show you very quickly how different it is from the offer that they're advertising to what you're actually signing up for, because it's a fucking disgrace, honestly. And the FTC should be ashamed of themselves. They aren't doing anything, or anything they do is so insignificant to these companies that it's just part of the system. So I'm going to take it upon myself to start picking on all the different offers that they're putting out there to consumers that are effectively just tricking them into 3-year contracts that become more and more unaffordable, and where the prices just go up and up, and there's seemingly nothing they can do about it. But there is, and the first stage is awareness, because I can see that complaining on Reddit isn't going to do shit. Like, complaining to customer service isn't going to do anything. They're as sick of it as you are. It's not that they're not making any decisions. They're not going to change anything by just complaining to them. The salespeople in the stores, they're just salespeople on commission to sell you stuff that you don't need. That's the only way they get paid, right? So that they're not customer service either. And they're also going to be as sick of this as you are, because corporate keep making their job way more difficult, offering them commission structures that almost force them to fraudulently sell extra lines just to pay their own bills. Right? All of this is totally unacceptable. It's totally avoidable. And it's all caused by a few people at these corporations that are making these terrible decisions purely for their own profit. The increases are nothing to do with cost increases, service improvements. They're purely profit driven. They are driving, they have targets to hit that have been set, way in the past, ever increasing profit numbers. But that's all fine, except for when you get to a point where the market's saturated, where everyone has a phone. Now, the only way that they can increase profits is by increasing prices, offering less service for more money, and ultimately just continually paying out more and more dividends to the shareholders for less and less service. Now, this all might sound quite boring, except for my point is this is just going to continue, right? So your bill, what it is today, is never going to get cheaper unless you do something about it. It's just going to keep getting more expensive. They're going to continue adding more of these price hikes. So the bizarre thing about this industry is that you can get exactly the same coverage from 50 other carriers in the US. You can get whichever you prefer, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, it doesn't matter. You can get exactly the same coverage without any of this bullshit. You don't need to go to a store. You don't need to speak to a salesperson. You can do it all online. You can make your own decisions. So the biggest issue that I see right now is these iPhone on us deals. Now, they already got sued for a ridiculously small amount, might I add, for offering free phones that aren't free. So after that, they just changed it to on us. So it sounds free. So they're just maneuvering around the system. These phones are not free. They are 3-year contracts. It's going to cost you a minimum of $2,700, more likely $3,500 per phone, right? So they're calling them free. These are not free. So don't think, when you see on us, do not think free. Think $3,000. Whenever you see an advert that says on us, think $3,000. Now, how did I get to that? Well, these are 3-year contracts you're going to be signing. There isn't a 2-year option. There isn't a 1-year option. For this, I'm referring to AT&T and Verizon, With T-Mobile, there is a 2-year option, but I'm gonna just keep it specific right now. Now, even that in itself, if you're offering financing on a phone, if you would generally have the customer's interest, you would be offering a 1-year option, a 2-year option, a 3-year option. You know, what's best for you, sir? What's best for you? Let's help you out. No, these are 3-year contracts to keep you tied into the most expensive cell phone plans in the world. And I'm not being, it sounds a bit dramatic. I'm from the UK. I've lived in the States for nearly 15 years. I kid you not, a typical phone plan in the UK is about £10. That's about $15, right? 50% of the market is buying their phone and their plan separately. The first thing, do not buy your phone and your plan together. And you might say, well, the phones are free. Exactly, they're not. That's the point. They're tricking you. They're a 3-year contract. And how did I get to $3,000? Well, to qualify for most of these, you have to get their most ultimate unlimited, infinite unlimited, except for it's not really unlimited, but whatever. We'll just put any old name to it, and it will just, if we say it enough, it's going to be true, right? We've heard this before everywhere. The government's been doing this for years. That's what they're getting found out. You know, Federal Reserve Bank. Well, it's not federal. There's no reserve, and it's not a bank. So don't call it 3 words. It isn't, right? It's the same stuff. They just think if they say the words enough, repeating it through advertising, then it becomes true. Well, sadly, that has actually been the case for a lot of people. They believe these corporations, they believe the governments, but that is coming to an end. We're seeing that firsthand right now. Doge is tearing that shit apart. But it doesn't just stop at government. I mean, where do you think the governments are getting their money from in order to even be corrupt in the first place? Well, they're getting it from the corporations, right? So what we have to do is we have to, in this case, as the FCC doesn't do anything, and I can probably guess why, then we have to educate ourselves in all industries. Whoever's an expert in whatever field and they see something that they don't like, it's up to us to share it with others and not tell them what to do, but to provide them with options that they may not know they have, and maybe break down some belief systems that may be out of date, because there's a lot of things I used to believe that just aren't true, and that's across the board with so many different things. And even in the last couple of years, everything's changed again with AI and everything. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you what I found, and I'm going to do it through video, and we're going to use AI, and we're going to break it down together. So if you're interested in understanding more about that, follow me. My name's Rob Webber. I've got 15 years experience in this industry. You have lots of options. It's very easy. You can save a lot of money. You can break yourself free of this nonsense. I don't want to sell you anything. I want to help you become aware so that you can make better decisions that doesn't keep benefiting these massive corporations and the tricks that they're pulling on you. If you want extra support, I can provide it. But the intention of this video is to provide free information so that the average consumer can make better decisions. And it's going to be much easier than you probably imagine. And it's probably going to be much worse than you can imagine in terms of the state of play right now. But there is a solution. I'm not going to do this for fear factor. I'm doing this for education, so that people can make better decisions. Because we can't even trust the FTC to stop these corporations doing anything. And really, if you think about it, if we are aware of what's happening, we don't need the FTC to tell us this is a good deal, this is a bad deal, or they should be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. If we have the awareness, then we can decide for ourselves. We just know what to look for. We avoid the obvious tricks, and they become very obvious when you have seen them a few times. I'll break a few of them down, but after that, you'll be able to figure it out pretty easily for yourself, so that These companies can't keep getting away with these tricks that are basically making most families in America miserable because their bills are so high. And this doesn't just relate to the wireless industry. This relates to most of your utilities. You're going to find a similar theme going across all these corporations where that are causing your bills to be so high. They're telling you one thing, but the real reason is something completely different. And we all know that this is happening, in the government. It's been going on for many, many years, and it's got out of control. But the way we take our power back is by just awareness. So in this one particular field, I've got a lot of knowledge, and I want to share it, and I'm going to break things down for people so that they can make better decisions. And what they do with that is up to them, but at least they've got more information than they had before. So if you're interested in following me, hit like and subscribe. Ask me a question in the comments if you like. And I'm going to be making a series of videos using AI to break down the BS offers that these big corporations are presenting to you, showing you how they're presented, and then using AI to read the terms and conditions to show you very quickly in simple terms, which of course the terms and conditions are not written in simple terms on purpose. But one thing I found AI to be very good at is breaking down some information that's deliberately confusing and putting it into terms that everyone can understand.